how would you describe this moment we're in, and how might this phase of return to the office go?
I think it's a moment of opportunity to really create the destination where people choose, because if you can, the WFA, work from anywhere, how are you going to choose your office environment where we know there's mentorships happening, there's an opportunity for people to connect, people to socialize to the point of, living alone. A lot of people were really struggling with that because there wasn't a lot of socialization that we do get through work. And we also learn so much through observation of others and how they work. So I think that was completely missing. So we have an opportunity to really reimagine the workplace and redefine opportunities and think about space types and what are the things that are going to support the work that people actually are doing. So a lot of organizations that we're working with at JLL are trying to really solve for exactly that. They're trying to solve for the purpose of the workplace and what new space types are emerging that are going to support new activities that are missing from a virtual realm. We also know, this is like the biggest thing, this is the thing I talk about the most, blended audiences. You're never going to have a singular, think about yourselves today, you had a blended schedule with blended audiences. We are live this evening here, which is exciting to see actual people. However, there's times during your day that you're going to be on virtual with other people, other communities, and then with people in person. So that blended audience has to be really solved for with new space types that are going to be more like, production studios that'll be great Zoom rooms and those sorts of things. So we're trying to help people really solve for that new purpose of the workplace and what that looks like and feels like.
Anybody else want to take the question? What moment are we in now?
Yeah.
I think we're in a moment where we don't know what the future holds. If you talk about the future of work, it's really unknown. And I think that's because there's so much change that's happened. The perspective that when we're talking about it is really through the associate lens, our employees, our employee base, because so much of what we're able to do and move forward is going to depend upon whether they're moving with us, which means probably for the first time in, I would say, years of working, you actually really have to pause and hear. You can't say this is what the organization needs, this is what the enterprise needs, this is what, you have to understand where they're coming from, and you have to really focus on how do you make sure they're still as connected to the entity. Part of the problem with being, and it is a bit of a problem, I think, with us not being in the office as often, is that you don't have that level of connectivity, so you don't have that line of sight to the understanding. You don't necessarily have the bright ideas sporadically happening. It doesn't happen the same way on Zoom as it does when you're in the room and somebody says something and somebody says, aha, and yeah, you're right. You don't have that sort of engagement that allows innovation to occur and allows ideas to really populate in a more spontaneous way. And so we're struggling to make sure that we create the reasons why people want to come back and be together in those types of scenarios. I don't need you to come in and punch a time. I don't need you to come in every day, but I need you to want to collaborate. I need you to want to engage. I need you to want to figure out how we make the business better. And part of that is that connection you have in person. And so how do you make that special for people? You can't presume that coming to work and getting a paycheck is it. I mean, there was a statistic that said in 2017, I forget which one of the PwC, Deloitte, or, McKinsey, whoever did a study, and one of the most important things on that study was remote working. So fast forward to now, and it's what you have. So when you tell people you can still work remotely, we're not giving them something they don't already have. Mm-hmm. So how do we still make it special for them? Mm-hmm. So how do you create the FOMO, fear of missing out in the office?
Yeah.